Do you ever wonder why it's so hard to stop scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter? Notice that restless, ever-present itch to see what's next, to get all of the information you need. That itch is curiosity. But not all curiosity is created equal, and by understanding how curiosity works, you can use it to change habits and feel better, at any time. As I've talked about in earlier columns, our brains need accurate information to plan for the future. One vehicle that drives many of us to get information is that restless, need-to-know itch that comes when we don't know something. Curiosity comes in two flavors, pleasant and unpleasant. In 2005, the psychologist Jordan Littman named two main flavors of curiosity, which he called I-curiosity and D-curiosity. I-curiosity stands for interest, the pleasurable aspects of the hunger for knowledge. D-curiosity stands for deprivation, the idea that if we have a gap in information, we enter a restless, unpleasant, need-to-know state. In other words, curiosity, our drive for information, can either induce a pleasant state or an aversive state. Let's get specific. What's it like to wonder when all of this is going to end? When can we stop social distancing? How bad will the economic impact be? That's your D-curiosity at work. You might also experience this sensation when you're itching to read a text during a meeting. That fire of uncertainty is causing your phone to burn a hole in your pocket, you simply must know who texted you. This reduction in uncertainty, the stress of not knowing, is the reason why New York City installed digital signs in the subway system. Ironically, people would rather know that the next train is 15 minutes away than not know it's only 2 minutes away. Yes, our brains are crazy like that. I-curiosity, on the other hand, is piqued when we become interested in learning more broadly about a specific topic. This is different from filling a deficit, as in D-curiosity, because there wasn't a deficit to begin with. When we're out exploring nature or learning something new, there isn't a particular point we're trying to reach. We're simply enjoying the journey of learning more. Fascination is I-curiosity on steroids. So, why do we have curiosity in the first place? It turns out curiosity builds on the evolutionarily conserved, reward-based learning mechanisms in our brains. As I've written about earlier, this is the brain system that helps us remember where to find food and avoid danger. Reward-based learning relies on positive and negative reinforcement. You want to do more of the things that feel good and less of things that feel bad. Back in caveman days, this was really important for helping us find food, good, and avoid danger, bad. This might also be the case with curiosity. The idea that curiosity aligns with reward-based learning has been supported by a growing body of research. A study by Matthias Gruber and colleagues at the University of California, Davis had students review a list of trivia questions and rate their curiosity level in learning the answer to each one. At peak curiosity, dopamine pathways in the brain fired with increased intensity and there was a stronger connection between reward centers and the hippocampus, a brain area associated with memory. Peak curiosity primed students to remember more information, not just the answers to their trivia questions. Each curiosity flavor has different tastes. They fall into different categories in terms of how they feel in our bodies. Deprivation feels closed and interest feels open. Another study by Tommy Blanchard and colleagues at the University of Rochester and Columbia University looked at the orbitofrontal cortex (OFC), or the regions associated with reward value, which assigns value to different things. That's the bigger better offer part of the brain I've talked about in prior columns, think broccoli versus chocolate. In fact, in studies of primates, Blanchard's team found that primates were willing to give up rewards, such as getting a drink of water, when they were thirsty for information. Together, these studies suggest that the saying, "thirst for knowledge," really is more than metaphorical. Curiosity follows the same basic behavioral pathways as reward-based learning and even has a literal reward value in the brain. Different flavors, different rewards, different results. Each curiosity flavor has different tastes. They fall into different categories in terms of how they feel in our bodies. Deprivation feels closed and interest feels open. What about their reward structure drives these behaviors? With deprivation curiosity, getting the answer is rewarding, but with interest, the process of being curious feels good. This is critical for two reasons. First, with interest, we don't need something outside of ourselves to get a reward, it is intrinsically rewarding, and second, because of this, it never runs out. Social media is a great example of where we can tap into both types of curiosity. We might be mindlessly scrolling through our feed or using it in a proactive way to learn new things. If we don't pay attention, we might not even notice that we are switching off between the two approaches, scrolling until we find something interesting to read. So, how can we use this knowledge to optimize curiosity-driven learning? As scientists like myself love to do, this can be graphed out in the form of an inverted, U-shaped curve. Imagine curiosity on the vertical axis and knowledge on the horizontal axis. With very little knowledge, curiosity is very low. As we start gaining knowledge, curiosity goes up and eventually plateaus. As we gain even more knowledge, curiosity decreases because information gaps have been filled. Put another way, curiosity seems to follow a Goldilocks rule with regard to information. Too little uncertainty about something fails to provoke curiosity, while too much uncertainty provokes anxiety. Finding the sweet spot of curiosity requires staying atop the inverted, U-shaped curve and having just enough information to sustain curiosity. Using curiosity for habit change and learning. Most of us approach ourselves and the world with de-curiosity, treating the unknown like a problem to be solved. And yet ironically, our own de-curiosity is often the very thing that triggers unhelpful habit loops, like endless scrolling on social media. The scientific studies from my lab and many others have laid out the foundational elements of how habits form, which is enough knowledge to put you in the sweet spot of getting curious about your own experience. Engaging this curiosity further allows you to develop the wisdom to know exactly how your own mind works so that you can work with it. You can probably already see how this primes you to stay at the top of that inverted, U-shaped curve, getting more and more curious about your habits as well as becoming curious about what you can do when you get caught up in a habit loop. As Einstein put it, curiosity has its own reason for existence. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery each day. Never lose a holy curiosity. Or as Charlie Mackesy put it far more simply in his book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, be curious. See if you can start setting the habit of being curious about everything, including all of the unknowns, so instead of getting caught up in worrying about the future, you can explore life one moment at a time. Onward, together. If you're curious, here's a short video I made on this topic.